it will be on Zoho QuickBooks. So in 2019, we have launched the product. At that time, GST audit was on the peak, so some of the GST audit related features are also included in the system. So this is my partner Anuradha Deshpande. She is having more than 20 years of experience. She is British national also, and she's into SAP development. So she knows. So I am the domain expert, and she is the development partner. It's a good combination, and then that's why we are able to come up with the good product. So
Niranjan sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Sir, can you be little more louder? I think
okay,
it's not very much audible.
okay. So uh, let's see the current challenges. Then we can. So you will understand why there is a need of ledger vision. So right now in practice management, what happens? The resource bench is there. So trained and experienced candidates are not available. Those who are available, we have to depend on them heavily. Then whenever there are exams, they used to go on leave, so that hampers our easy working of the firm. That is the biggest problem. Then inconsistency of the standard auditing document, that is the problem. Timelines are stringent. Basic problem is there is a gap between volume and fees. Okay, so according to me, the efforts we put and whatever the fees we receive, there is a vast gap. So we need to reduce the efforts so that it will be a win-win situation. That's why the automation tools are required. Then no uniformity in ledger scrutiny and related views. So because with the help of our software, you will get uniform and in detail outputs, and 100% checking is there. Yes, this is a very big problem. Inexperienced accounts team from client. So not only inexperienced team, but normally they go on changing. So most of the time there is a multiple accountants are keep on changing, and we cannot instill a discipline in clients' accounting procedure. That is the biggest problem. Then some regulatory actions are there, like increase in non-compliance cases against CA. That's why some standardization is required. Increase in disclosure and reporting, for example, CARO 2020 schedules, etc. And against stringent timelines for statutory reporting. Moreover, the clients are expecting us, they are having high expectation with normally. So this is the basic problem I think everybody is experiencing. We start asking for data from April, and we normally explain that data come to us around September or August or September. So normally then we have to keep open our office up to in late night also. We have to work in late nights, and then it is very problematic situation. But we have to complete the audits before the due date. So that is the problem. Normally they expect higher standards at 11th hour, and expectation towards preventive approach for error identification, etc. So those are the problems. And team expectation, because we're heavily dependent on team. So they also want growth professionally and quality of work also, reasonable remuneration they want. And they don't want, so minimum travel system automation. There is another problem with the existing team. They don't easily convert with automation or such kind of tools. So these are the problems. Let's see why ledger vision is there. Okay. So basically ledger vision provides you high quality based level ledger scrutiny of books of accounts. So actually there are more 67 reports which covers TDS, GST, okay, tax audit tables, wrong accounting entities, wrong GST. So n number of reports are there. Then basically some of the CA has given me the feedback that our reports are standardized, so they can be used for peer review also. So our reports help them in peer review also. So that was not expected by me, but I was happy to hear from him. So because it completes 100% checking, so you can have a peace of mind also. Okay, and continue review and process. There is improvement. We provide 12/7 virtual support is there. Achha, what are the key benefits? So there are inbuilt rules. Rule engine is there. More than 250 rules are there right now. It saves a lot of time. I can say highest data I have scrutinized is 241,000 entries and 72,000 ledgers. It takes around 2.5 hours to complete the scrutiny. So you can understand, normally for manual procedure, 2 CAs, 1 manager and 8 articles, they were taking 8 to 10 days to complete the scrutiny. That has been completed within 2.5 hours. Again, I say 100% checking is there. No judgmental calls, hence no deviation in results. Uniformity is there in reporting. And delivery like experience resources by automated. So automated, because the process is automated, it's very fast, and accuracy is also there. Now, there is a problem with the Tally because Tally is very flexible software. For example, there is no discipline asset. Even you can open a fixed asset ledger under bank, and Tally will allow you to do that. Okay. So software handles all kind of accounting style. There can be a customized voucher types. There can be a customized ledger grouping. You don't have to maintain the standard Tally grouping, and there is no need to activate the inbuilt Tally features for GST TDS also, because our software is having different set of rules. So we pull data from Tally and then we run our rule engine. So there is no need to use or activate the inbuilt features of the Tally. And it handles multiple GST TDS styles. Like what happened, there are multiple GST accounting styles. In some of the cases, they use input output wise GST accounting or input output plus GST rate wise accounting ledgers. Or in some of the cases, they use only CGST, AGST, and IGST. Three ledgers they only use. So there are multiple styles of accounting in GST. Even in case of TDS, some of the accountants are using TDS category-wise ledgers, or some of the accountants are using only TDS payable ledgers, and all the entries are credited to that ledger only. So all these kind of accounting styles are handled by the software. What is the magic behind? It is very fast. As I said, suppose there are 10,000 entities, it takes around 5 minutes to complete the scrutiny. So it is so fast. Data confidentiality is our aim. While designing the software, it was my aim. So you can see our software is not web-based software; it is a desktop-based software. So no requirement of internet is there, and whatever data we pull from Tally, it is stored in your desktop only. So in a way, we maintain data confidentiality that. So we don't have a control on data pulled by the software. Seamless integration is there. No need to export data from Tally and then import into software. With a click of a button, it pulls everything. There is no limitation on the scrutiny. You can have a scrutiny of one company for any number of times, and you can have scrutiny of any number of companies. As I said, 200 plus rules, 250 rules are there right now, and configurable. So configuration is also there. 90 to 95% configuration is done by software automatically, but the first time user has to go through to see whether correctly things are done by the software. Correct configuration, correct mapping is done by the software or not. So how do we do it? Firstly, we pull data from Tally. Then one-time configuration is required. Then we run the scrutiny and it generates the results. Now results are visible on screen as well as you can download all the results in Excel format. Okay. So extensive rules are written for basic accounting principle, income tax, TDS, GST, company law, etc. What are the scrutiny results provided? In case of GST, we check each and every GST voucher. So I will explain that in detail. Then I will be explaining the report. GSTR 2A to B reconciliation we also provide. Actually, it is the report requested by those CAs who were not into monthly GST practice, but they wanted to have a, so they are going to have a GST audit in the year end. So for them, we have given the GSTR 2A to B reconciliation. Then RCM liability report we provide. Identification of block credit that can be done. Duplicate GST number that can be found very easily by the software. It is the biggest problem right now for 2A to B reconciliation. And segregation of GST data, like we segregate data rate wise, expenditure wise, party wise, which is required for GSTR 99C. In case of TDS and tax audit, we provide TDS scrutiny like no TDS, short TDS, etc. Segregation of data is there. We segregate TDS data in TDS category wise, expenditure wise, rate wise, creditor wise. And with the help of that segregation, you can find out disallowance immediately. So we give ready-made disallowance column, and with the help of pivot table, etc., you can have ready-made 34A table also. Another tables we provide for tax audit like 43B for statutory reduced to 69 SS to 69P, asset addition, deletion, cash report, etc. And while finalization, software gives you the flags or errors relating to pending interest, EMI entries of the loan, pending interest income entries on investments, drawing entries in case of individual HUF firm, pending provision prepaid entries. So it helps you to finalize the Tally company as well. So Basic accounting principles, yes, there are some of the queries raised by like probable capital expenditure routed through revenue expenditure, or we capture spelling mistakes also for those CS who are into account writing practice. So it can be a embarrassing situation if group name or manager name there are spelling mistakes. So they requested us, so we have provided spell check feature. Then we provide verification of which debtor creditor masters, probable unsecured loan hidden under debtors and creditors, which required for 260 SST report. Higher discount depending upon your audit materiality, open bill references, etc. So there are multiple reports. So I will explain all the reports in detail. Uh, what are the benefits? So the scrutiny speed, as I said, there are 242,000 ledgers. It takes only 2.5 hours. Um, we can capture some of the accounting mistakes also. Like one of my client has gifted a Honda Unicorn motorcycle to employee for because his son has scored some very rank in some of the examination. So software captures that query, and then we go on digging. So we find because that company's data is huge. I think it was 350 crores company turnover, and monthly 40,000, 30,000 tally entries were there. So it was very difficult to go on manual scrutiny. That's the software is required, and it has captured the word motorcycle, Honda Unicorn in staff welfare. So when we go on digging, we found that though it was gifted, it was registered in the name of company only. So that's why we urge them to capitalize it. So same kind of some frauds are detected by the software. So these are the benefits. And I will come up to Ledger Fusion, but I will just explain what are the features of the Ledger Fusion. So it similar like Ledger Vision only, it pulls tally data seamlessly. So what is the data? We pull opening and closing balance for current year as well as previous year. Again, the configuration is one time. It is an Excel based configuration. Configuration means it is a opening and closing trial balance only. It maps schedules or notes as required by MC21. So note 1, note 2, note 3. There are notes given as per MC21 guidelines, and all are automatically configured, but we have to just go through because some of the instances I have seen there are spelling mistakes. So that's why one time overview is required. USP of the software is output is in Excel format. So I have came across some of the software which are very good, but output are available in PDF or in crystal format or in Word format. So that is not of use. You cannot change anything in the output. That's why output in Excel format was necessary. So our USP is our format is in Excel, and we provide all linking, all grouping, all formulas are seen in the screen. So you can change anything after downloading the final balance sheet. So useful for Schedule 3, partnership fund, individual HUF. We are coming up with AOP, BOI trust, so that will be there. Then we will be adding in-days balance sheets also. So slowly we are updating the software. Even we prepare a depreciation schedule for company law as well as income tax also. And we calculate deferred tax and we calculate current tax mat also. We provide cash flow. There are hyperlinks provided. You can jump from balance sheet and
Sir, your voice is
we
not
ended to
audible.
we provide slides surrounding of 100,000 lakhs crores is available. Some of the CAs were asking me that they want only current year balance sheet. They don't want to pull current year and previous year details. So we have given them only current year balance sheet option also. And major important thing is consolidation of financial statements. So it is very handy tool. You can consolidate any group company balance sheets easily. So I am having one or two clients which takes around 5 to 6 days for consolidation, but with the help of software, within 1 hour I can consolidate the balance. So it saves a lot of time and energy, and output is always standard. Okay, so let's start with the ledger scrutiny, ledger vision. I will explain some of the configurations because now software is embedded with the audio help and return help also. So by scrolling, I will show that also. And there are multiple videos are also available on the screen. So I am not going to in detail explanation of what is configuration. I will just show you what is the concept of configuration, and then we can jump to results. So this is our Ledger Vision software. There is a window provided by the Tally. You can see in the base client oblique ODBC server 9000. So in technical terms, it is known as web services. It is a window given by Tally so that it can communicate with any other software. So to activate that window, you have to go to F12, go to see advanced configuration, and there you will see Tally ERP acting as, it is normally kept as none. You have to change it to both, and enable ODBC server. You have to change it to yes. Now 9,000 is the default number, but you can have any number. Suppose the number is 11,500, so you can change that number over here, 11,500, and then our software will detect the Tally company open in the Tally. Similarly, same configuration requirements are there in Tally Prime. There you have to go to help, settings, and connectivity, and same changes are required in Tally, ERP9 as well as Tally Prime. Okay. Now, basic thing you have to keep in mind: you have to select the company and you have to select the period. So, scrutiny period should be same in Tally as well as Ledger Vision. So, you can have a scrutiny of 1 month, 1 quarter, half year, or entire year. But keep in mind there should be equal. So, the period should be matching in Tally as well as our Ledger Vision. After that, next step is you have to pull the data. So, as I said, it is seamless. With a button, we pull data. So we pull ledgers, masters, vouchers, stock items, cost centers, narrations, etc., tables, etc. And it is kept into desktop only because software is desktop based. There is no requirement of internet. So it is pulling the data. Initially, we try to pull the data within one chunk, but we came across when there is a heavy data like 30,000, 40,000 entries, Tally used to hang. So that's why we have come up with the solution. We pull data on monthly basis. So for year, we pull data on 12 chunks. So month wise, now you can see the July is going on, then August is started. So this helps Tally to pass on the data smoothly to Ledger Vision, and the problem of Tally getting hang is solved automatically. Normally, we have seen the standard uh, machines used in CFR is with the 4 GB RAM. So that is sufficient for software to run smoothly. But if you want to scrutinize heavy data, it is requested to use heavy RAM like 8 GB, 10 GB RAM. Then it will smoothly work and scrutinize any data with a short time span. So once it pulls the data, I will explain what is the configuration, and then we'll jump to results, because configuration it can take if I started working talking on configuration, it may take 2 hours also. So that's why we have given videos and ready-made instructions also. So let's jump to configuration. Data has been pulled. Now this is one-time activity because every Tally accounting style is different. So software, though automatically mapping everything, like you can say there are 37 categories on which we have written the rules, and software is automatically mapping bank in front of bank, advance from customer in front of current liabilities, branch in front of branch. But you can see this capital 123, it is not a default name. Okay, it is the default name changed by the user, and in this case, you will see this capital field as NA. So whenever you see this kind of field, this means that either that capital account is not available in the groupings of the balance sheet, or the name, default name has been changed. So configuration means simply you have to go to Tally, see what is the name given to capital. Okay, it is capital 123, and then you have to just go and change the go and tick mark the boxes. Now, if you go to this Tally, you can see many names are changed. Capital 123 is not a default name. Loans liability new is not a default Tally group. Fixed assets WIP is not a default Tally group. New investment is not a default Tally group. So all these are kept as NA. I have to go and manually tick mark those boxes. So it is a one-time activity. Similarly, some new voucher types are there. Achha, in category mapping, another requirement is there. You need to check where GST input output ledgers are kept and where TDS ledgers are kept. So for example, one can keep GST input ledgers under purchases. So you have to just go to purchases and tick. So by ticking purchases accounts, software will understand, okay, it has to find all input ledgers under from the group of purchases. Similarly, voucher type configurations are there. So those voucher types which are created by user or original name changed by the user, those will be reflected over here, because software is unable to understand how to deal with those voucher types. Then this drop down is given standard Tally default voucher types are shown under drop down. So you have to go to Tally, see what is the new CN, what is the type of So how it is treated in the tally. New CN is actually credit note. So if you instruct software like, okay, whatever be the name, you treat this voucher tab as credit note, it will treat as a credit note. If you say it is a payment, it will treat it as a payment. Okay. Now you can see there are three buttons which are very important. If you hover our cursor on this button, help button, you will get all the instructions on the screen. But if you want, you will get the audio help also. It is like a Google Map only. When that lady give you instruction, you correctly reach to your destination. Similarly, with the help of this instruction, you can easily configure any tally company. So this is, in short, this is the configuration. There are multiple things, but here GST mapping is there. So we map input, output, rates, etc. in GST. Here TDS mapping is there. So we map all. So those ledgers which are not pertaining to TDS, they are kept as NA, and all TDS ledgers are mapped. Okay. So everything is automatic, but you have to keep a sharp eye because sometimes spelling mistakes can be there. So if spelling is wrongly written, then we are not able to automatically capture the details. So it is mapping everything, and then we can start with the scrutiny. I will explain one important configuration, which is very, very important for TDS scrutiny, and TDS scrutiny is our USP. So all data, creditors, GST related investment, preliminary, everything is mapped. This expenses and asset addition is the most important configuration. This includes all P&L ledgers, expenditure ledgers, as well as fixed asset ledgers. Okay, so software is given instruction. It reads the nomenclature of the ledgers and automatically provides categories. Like so, you can see in drop down, you will get all the TDS categories, and software is automatically mapping everything. You have to just go on scrolling down, and to see whether it has given correct mapping. For example, it reads the word interest, and it may give 194A category to interest on TDS also. In that case, you have to manually intervene and untick that 194A. Okay, so that is the simplest way, but you have to go through thoroughly for first time. So this is how TDS category mapping is done. Even you can provide multiple categories too. Like in case of advertisement, you can have 194C and 194J also. Okay? So you can provide multiple categories also. Now there are 4 options given. So in case of provision and prepaid, software automatically map the ledgers where provision entries are required or prepaid entries are required, and you can decide the frequency. The map. So you can have a provision or prepaid entries on monthly basis, on quarterly basis, yearly, or 6 monthly basis. Okay, so that depends on your audit frequency. 2 or more options are there. One is depreciation and other is transportation. We map depreciation ledgers because we have to provide asset addition deletion report. For that purpose, we need to find out which are the depreciation ledger. We exclude those ledgers and provide asset addition deletion ledger. If you don't map this depreciation ledger, it will be considered as deletion of asset. So this is our configuration. And now transportation is required for, there is a limit of 35,000 for, in case of 48.3 single date cash payment, the limit for transport is 35,000. So that's why we need to map the transport ledgers also. So this is how configurations are done, and now we can run the scrutiny. So while scrutiny is good, in this scrutiny, you can have a selective scrutiny also. By default, we have tick mark all the rules. But if you want to check only GST so you can tick only GST. If you want to check only TDS, you can run TDS only. Now I am going for entire scrutiny. It take around 40-60 seconds. So if anybody is having any query question, one can ask, or we can wait for 40 seconds to complete the scrutiny. Now there are 3 complementary reports given: GSTR 2A, 2B reconciliation, and reconciliation of opening balance. So that I also explain in later, but they are also important. Reconciliation of opening balance means before starting audit, we reconcile the previous year's finalized tally data closing balance with current year's opening balance. So also helps in identifying the differences, and also it automatically updates the opening balances. So only 32 seconds required. This is the overview. Now we can see whether it has checked 100% ledgers and vouchers. So ledgers checks are 911. So if I go to tally, so number of ledgers there 911. So 100% ledgers are checked. And there are 2489 entries, out of which 4 are cancelled. So it has checked 2485 entries. So 100% checking is done. Now you can see software is giving the overview, like balance sheet is matched, how many entries in GST are pass or fail, how many entries on TDS are pass or fail. So you can go through the overview to understand the quality of the data maintained by the client. Now, as I said, you can download all results to Excel. The groupings are there. 21 to 22 analytical reports are there. You can download with the click of this button. You can download GST reports. You can download tax audit and TDS reports, and aging analysis report and additional results. Okay. So I will explain important results to let you know the how software is working. So all 67 reports are. I am not going to going into details because it is very difficult to explain each and every report. So in this TDS scrutiny, we have given 3 reports. First report is TDS scrutiny result. Now there are 8 areas from where we capture the TDS. First one is direct payment to creditor, so advances to creditors or payment to creditors. Now we have seen that some of the cases debtor is also used as creditor. So whenever there is a payment to debtors, we capture TDS on payment to debtors also. Then we capture TDS on provisions, prepaids, fixed assets, direct cash payment, direct bank payment, loans and advances. So these are the areas from where we capture TDS. Now, normal question most of the time asked to me. So suppose the TDS entry is passed at the time of passing expense entry, it is okay. But most of the times it happens that while closing the books or while closing the month, they pass party to TDS entry. So those kind of accounting entries are also captured by the software. So any kind of accounting style is captured by the software. And now you can see, now this is the report where you will be surprised. Bill reference, vouchers and voucher type is shown as NA because we are working on the totality basis. Okay. So in status, if you select all fail results, so basically results are presented in form of pass and fail. Okay. So when you select fail results, you will get all the errors of the TDS. So as I said, what is totality? Means, for example, in case of 194C, we take the total of the ledger. If total is covering, total is crossing limit of 1 lakh rupees, then TDS is applicable. If total is below 1 lakh rupees, but any single entry is crossing rupees 30,000, then TDS is applicable. So in that way, in that fashion, we calculate the TDS. Now here you can say log is showing interest on unsecured loan. The TDS category is 194A. Amount is 18,000. Now because it is older data, 18-19 data, at that time the rate was 10%. Now in pandemic the rate was reduced from 100% to 75%. So before 14th of May it was 10%, then it was 7.5%. So accordingly software is updated. Now again normal rates are there, so software is working fine with the updated versions. Now you can see we have shown HDFC Bank as a party. Why? Because this is the situation, direct payment entry is there. So if I go to tally unsecured loan, interest on unsecured loan, this is the entry. So expenditure account debit to bank, and no TDS is found in the entry. So software is saying no TDS is deducted. Technically there should be 10%, 1800 should be the TDS. And because we don't know the party, we have given bank as a party, so you can ask client and you can tell him to pass the entry creditor wise. Okay. So this is the area direct cash or bank payment. This is the area provisions. So audit fee payable, 50,000 is the amount, and they have deducted only 2,000 rupees. So if I go to audit fees, so you will see on 50,000 they have deducted only 2,000 rupees. So this is how we capture all TDS entries. So this is the basic report where you will find out no TDS, excess TDS, less TDS, or TDS deducted though not required. So these kind of errors are there. The next report is party wise summary. So you will get all TDS category, all parties, all rates, and the amount of the party, and what should be the actual amount of TDS, what is the deducted amount, whether the amount entry is pass. So pass or fail is the end result of the summary. But more meaningful and more important result is this TDS expenditure wise. Actually, this is the combination of first 2 reports. So you can directly jump to this report also. So we have given the TDS categories over here. TDS rates are there. Which TDS ledgers from Tally use, they are shown in the column. Party names are there and TDS expenditure names are there. So this includes all P&L ledgers as well as fixed assets. And in front of that, status is given whether TDS is liable, not liable, excess deducted, no deducted, or TDS not liable, still paid. So all these are status given. So important thing is all the expenditures and fixed asset amounts are given one below the other, and then bifurcation is done. So expenses liable to TDS are shown separately, and expenses which are not liable to TDS are shown separately. So whenever there are expenses which are liable to TDS, we calculate applicable amount as well as we calculate the deducted amount also. And when there is a short deduction of TDS or no deduction of TDS, we calculate disallowance also. So you will get ready-made disallowance also. And even you can download all the results to Excel, as I said. So you download this report to Excel, use pivot table on TDS category column, use filter for not liable TDS ledger. So remove the not liable TDS ledger, and you will get category wise, party wise, expenditure wise, and amount wise TDS details, which are required for 34A. So basic thing is category and expenditure wise details you will get. So you will get ready-made 34A table. You can punch on these details in your filing software as well as your tax audit tables also. After that, there are some of the tax audit tables like cash sections. So whenever there is a crossing of limit, the section name will appear, the section limit will appear, from which cash ledgers payments are done, those ledgers will be shown one below the other. Date on which the payments are done, the party or expenditure name is there, and total of the day of cash payment is there. So you can see in case of transport, the amount is 35,000. Okay. So ready-made report is there for 40A3 to 16 and SST and ST. This is very interesting report, probable unsecured loan. Now what happens, I think it is a common practice all over India, but in Pune, in market yard, the huge grocery market, and you can take any single TDS tally company, you will find 30,000, 40,000 debtors and creditors. So as auditor, it is very difficult to go through each and every debtor creditor ledger. And again, because it is a marketplace, money lending, money borrowing activities are going on. The tendency is to hide all the transactions under debtors and creditors. So senior C has requested me to give this kind of report, and we are very happy to provide this report. These are the debtors and creditors where only receipt and payment entries are posted. So no JV entry, no purchase or no sales entries are posted, only receipt and payment. So this is how we shortlist the debtors and creditors from all those 30-40,000 debtors creditors. And then you can go one by one when there are regular parties or parties having opening balance with purchases, etc. You can ignore, but whenever there are suspicious transactions, you can have a discussion with client, and then you can get those ledgers under your report of 216 and SS and T. So very, very important report. Then related party transaction. Now for related party transactions, there is a tick mark option given under debtors, creditors, loans and advances and loans liability. So you have to find out the parties and tick mark, and then we will provide the report, the ledger group, ledger details, bank or cash details. Now only thing is we can provide everything, but we don't know the relation with the party and nature of transaction. That's why we have kept it blank. We are given to be filled by user. So you have to have a discussion with the client, and then you can fill up the relation details and nature of transaction details. All other details are given by software automatically. In statutory dues, ESIC, PF, GST, TDS, PTRC, labor fund, everything is captured. And in recent update, we will be providing configuration for your due dates also, because this is a standard due date report. You can see in case of April, let's take example for ESIC payable. In case of April, due date appearing is 15th of April. So this is not the due date for April. It is the due date for it is the due date for opening balance. It is the due date of March. So March due date is falling in front of April. April due date is falling in front of May, and chronological sequence is followed. So let's go to Tally to see how actually it works. Now in ESIC payable, when we go for monthly report, monthly view, you can see the opening balance of March, which is payable in April, is 5357, and software is saying same thing. So you have to pay 5357, and this is the credit total of the month of April. So if we go to April month, you can see the total ESIC amount of April is 2262. Now, what about payment? So instead of paying 5357, they have paid only 2486. Voucher number is 23 and date is 16th of April. So they have delayed the payment also by 1 day. So we have given two columns over here. So you can see there are two columns. One column is for payment before due date. So this is the column where whenever there is a due date before due date, that will appear in this column. Otherwise, that will appear in next column. So we are showing voucher number 23 is there. Date of payment is 16 and amount paid is 2486. So neither we have paid full amount nor we have paid within the time. So we are saying it is a 1 month delay. And again, we are calculating the interest also. And if delay is continued, we can calculate the cumulative interest also. But I suggest before using this report, you can have a vouching of actual challans and reports. And as I said, I'm updating software next week. You will get the option of configuration of due dates also. So you can decide what is the correct due date for particular month because of this pandemic, all due dates are shuffled by the government. So standard report is not of use. That's why we are going ready-made. So we will calculate delay as per the due date provided by the user only. In 269 SST, we provide all the details of parties, loan given or loan received, whatever the case may be. And if in the Ledger Master GST number or PAN number is given, you will get all those number over here. Otherwise, it will be kept as blank. You have to manually fill in the details. Then next columns are what is the opening balance, what is the closing balance, whether it is squared off or not during the year, and now how the amounts are received, whether the payment is the amount received is in cash or bank or ODCC or in ZV, what is the interest paid or received, and then again bifurcation for payment is also given, how much amount paid in cash, bank, OD and ZV. Acha, highest closing balance during the year is also provided. Only thing is we are not unable to provide addresses because Tally is not letting us to pull the data for addresses and give the details in front of those parties. So we request you to kindly right now manually update the addresses, but in near future we are working with the problem. Basically, technical problem is that most of the times addresses are containing some special characters. I don't know, when we pull the data from Tally, we get some special characters in the addresses. That's why we are not able to write down. And so basic solution is we have to define the special characters given by the Tally, then only we can write down the addresses. So we are working with them. So these are the tax audit tables. One important, another report is aging analysis. So debtors aging and creditors aging is shown. I will just explain creditors analysis so you will understand the concept. So in aging analysis, original report was on bill-wise accounting, but I can say 19, even 80% people don't use bill-wise accounting, and those who use bill-wise accounting, in that even 99% people pass on accounting entries. So instead of passing with reference entries, they pass on account entries. So problem lies with them now because our closing balances as per bill-wise accounting and their closing balances with on account entries are not matching. So, and they started pointing fingers to us that your report is wrong. That's why we have started using FIFO method. So right now our aging analysis is on FIFO base. So all the ledgers are listed, all the amounts are listed, closing balances amounts are given, and we say whether the closing balance is in credit or debit. And accordingly, we provide the buckets, like you can see 0 to 30, 30 to 460, likewise more than 180 days. So all these buckets are given and data is bifurcated according to the outstanding days. Now, Rule 37 of GST comes into picture. You have to reverse the input credit taken. For that, we have given the voucher level details. You have to select all vouchers in credit and days more than 180. So you will get all opening balances or voucher details, date, amount, everything. And so you can reverse the input taken in case of these vouchers. So again, data aging analysis is on the same basis. The creditors, bucket wise and voucher wise is given. Now let's come to analytical report, which is most of the time these are the exception reports for very important reports. So I will just read out the names so you will understand the reports. Like these are the accounts squared off during the year. So debit and credit are matching, no closing balance with the account, so they are squared off during the year, shown separately. asset addition deletion report. This can be used to tax audit table also. So we provide asset name, whether it is addition or deletion, voucher number, date. In case of addition, days are calculated from date of addition to 31st of March. Or in case of deletion, days are calculated from 1st April to date of deletion. So concept of asset put to use is not considered because it is tally based data is given. So if you want, you can go into details when asset put to use and then how to calculate depreciation, etc. Amounts and narrations are given. So if narrations are there, you will get the idea how when the asset is put to use, etc. But whenever narrations are not there, we consider the date of entry as the addition date. So now this company is not bill-wise accounting with the bill-wise, if otherwise bill-wise references report will be there. So pending references are shown. Now exception reports are started. Creditors with incomes and sales. So technically there should be payment and expenditure entries, but these are the creditors where income and sales entries are there. Or creditors having receipt entries. So voucher type receipt is used, or cash bank ODCC is debited, then we view details of these entries. Then creditors with no purchases. So you can discuss this issue, why these parties, the purchase entries are not there, why you have not purchased from these parties. You can have a discussion for your understanding. Debtors with purchases. So technically there should be income or sales entries, but purchase entries are passed. So even you can see even ZV purchase entry is also captured by the software. Then debtors with no sale, you can have a discussion why sales is not taken place for these debtors. Debtors with payment or expenses with cash. So these are the list of expenses where cash component is included. So we show total amount, we show cash amount, and differences show under other column. Then expenses comparison report is given on monthly basis. Like you can say labor charges in the month of April it was 600, now it is directly raised to 33,000. What is the reason? You can have a discussion with the client with comparison. So multiple reports are there. I will just read out expenses with no creditors or expenses with the receipts. Fixed asset depreciation entries are shown. Higher discount in generic configuration, you can decide the maximum discount provided, possible to provide as per your audit materiality. And if that limit is crossing, you will get the higher discount details. Then incomes with no debtors, income comparison on monthly basis. So all those reports are there. Mapping error is the errors committed by the user while configuration of the company. So whatever configuration, if anything left by you or any mistake is done by user, we will provide the separate report. So you will understand how mapping is important. So it is a one-time activity. I will request you to use 1 or 2 hours for first tally company to understand in detail how software works. Then it is a very simple thing. The logic flows from groups to ledgers. Okay, rather groups to narrations. Achha, no transactions means opening and closing balances of these ledgers are same, so they are shown separately. So all these are analytical reports. Cash reports now plays a vital role. So what is the cash report? We have given, so for every cash, there can be multiple cash ledgers. So for every cash on monthly basis, we provide how much cash deposited in bank or ODCC or how much cash is withdrawn from bank and ODCC. But this is the important point because now threshold limit of tax audit is increased. So section 44AB plays vital role. We have given this report where total cash receipts are shown and total tally receipts are shown. So you can download this to Excel, take a total and compare. If the total cash receipts are more than 5% of total tally receipts, then tax audit gets applicable. Or if the total cash payments are more than the 5% of total tally payments, then also the tax audit is applicable. Though the threshold turnover of the tally company is below threshold limit, if these conditions are satisfying, then tax audit is there. Then we find out whenever the bank is in negative or whenever cash is in negative, etc. In data checks.
Niranjan sir. So remember wants to ask a question he has raised his hand. Can we interrupt you in between or shall we have it?
Please interrupt. So it is very easy
I think
for me to.
Sudhakar ji have raised your hand, it seems. Yes. Do you have any questions to ask?
No, I will ask later, madam.
Okay.
But you can keep that question in chat box so that it will be listed. Okay.
So members, whoever has a query, you can either raise your hand or you can put it in the chat box.
So you can list down all the queries in chat box so that we can answer one below the other. Okay. Now these are the data checks because I can say even 100% tally company, they are not perfectly given all the data. Like these are the accounts where no GST or no PAN is there. So most of the time, PAN number or GST number is missing in all tally companies. Or duplicate GST number. This is the biggest problem right now everybody is facing. So one GST number is appearing more than one ledger master. So that's why we are not able to complete effectively GST2 and 2B reconciliation. So this is the report where either GST is missing or PAN is missing. This is the report where GST duplicate numbers are there. So one number, acha, I have skipped. Oh, sorry. I will explain GST detail and then I will jump. Very important reports I have skipped wrongly. So sorry. So GST report, we capture each and every GST entry. Okay. So unlike TDS, we are providing all the voucher details over. After completing GST, I will explain the data check because GST is very important. So there are multiple reports in GST, but 3 reports are very important. So here, all pass or fail state in on the computer screen, we provide only fail status, but when you download report to Excel, you will get all pass entries and fail entries. So those status is failed, software is saying GST amount is matching, GST matches, then what is the reason of error? So software is saying CGST/SGST is applicable, still IGST entry is posted. Now because this company is from Maharashtra, from nomenclature only we can understand the ledger is from, so party is from Delhi. So there should be actually IGST entry. Still software is saying CGST applicable. So we can go to Tally to understand why software is. I'll just open and close this. So the name of the party is Agni Devices Delhi. So though address is from Delhi is written, but number of Maharashtra is given. Why? This is because it is from because of the duplicate GST numbers. One GST number used in more than one ledger. That's why it is appearing. So software is getting confused. Software is saying you have posted IGST entry, but technically your company and this company is in Maharashtra only. So there should be CGST, SGST entry. So you have to take correct course of action, either change the GST number or either change the entry in tally. Secondly, you can see in sales, the CGST posted is 27,500 and SGST posted is 22,500. Technically, both the amount should be same. So there are multiple possible wrong entries in GST, like output is posted for purchases or input is posted for sales, or both CGST ledgers are used, or both SGST ledgers are used, or one CGST ledger of 5% is used and another SGST ledger of 28% of use. Or major thing is stock item is having 5% rate, but actual entry is passed for 28%. So in number of permutation combinations are possible, and we capture all the scenarios. So it is requested, or many most of our clients use software on monthly basis for GST and TDS checking, for before making payment or before going for 2A to B reconciliation or before the filing of your returns. It is requested to go for monthly or at least quarterly to, checking of GST and TDS. Then party by GST summary is given. So whenever there is a cash or bank payment of receipt, we capture that cash or bank as a party, and we divide every data. So ledger group wise, ledger name wise, means party wise, rate wise, amount wise, input and output wise. So I will explain these reports in Excel because bifurcation in Excel is very easy than screen. So there are multiple reports in GST. So party by GST means simple summary. We are given ledger group, party names. If cash or bank is used, then those will appear as a party. You will get GST rates. You will get the amount of income or expenditure and input CGST, SGST or output CGST, SGST, IGST. So you can have a party level details also. Suppose you have selected any party. Suppose I am going for first party only. The party name is 24 degrees Havoc Solutions, and it is having different rates 0%, 9%, and 14%. So this is how you will get party wise details. But most important report is this P&L by GST summary. Though now GST or 993 is not our responsibility, up to 5 crores, I think. But still, some of the clients are asking us to file the details, then it is our responsibility. We have to bifurcate everything. So bifurcation is given by software in 41 seconds only. So how it is bifurcated, all the P&L ledgers and fixed assets are shown over here. Okay. And GST rate, P&L amount, input, output, GST, everything is given. Now I have manually entered these two columns. One is for GSTR 9 and another is for GSTR 9C. Okay. So what are the requirement of GSTR 9? They say they want sales details rate wise. So just go for sales group and you have to use the pivot table on this E column and you will get sales ledgers wise and expenditure wise details. Then they want in case of GSTR 9C, they ask us for total GST on services, total GST on capital goods, and total GST on normal purchase of goods. So remove sales and other income, indirect income, etc. You will get all expenditure ledgers and fixed asset. How many ledgers are there? 55 ledgers are there. Okay. So 54 ledgers are there. You can remove. So for these 54 ledgers, how to bifurcate the data? Go on reading the nomenclature, whether it is service. So by reading the nomenclature only, you will understand. Go on writing whether it is service, whether it is capital goods, whether it is normal goods. Go on writing for 55 times and use pivot table on this column. You will get ready-made data required by GSTR 9. Similarly, in GSTR 9C, table number 14 contains 18 headings. Originally, there were only 10 headings. Now they have given 18 headings. So it means you have to bifurcate the data of 54 ledgers into 18 headings. So trick is same. Read the nomenclature. If that matching heading is available in table number 14, use that heading. Otherwise, use other expenditure heading. Go on writing for 55 times or 54 times, whatever the case may be, and use pivot table. You will get ready-made data. So basically, any kind of accounting style, we bifurcate data in this manner, and it is easy for user to bifurcate the data accordingly. Then we provide RCM liability report because there are varied accounting style. Like in some of the people calculate everything on Excel and then pass RCM entries. Or in some cases, there are control ledgers maintained by the client and they pass final RCM entries. So instead of going into those details, we have given the standard table. So you can see we have listed the RCM related ledgers. We have given the, now this is, so we don't normally automatically select the GST rate. It is the responsibility of the user. He has to select the current rate in the force. And then we calculate the RCM on that expenditure monthly basis. So just you have to take the total for that month and see whether that much amount of RCM has been taken and the credit has been taken. So payment as well as credit. So this is how our GST result is shown. And then coming back to data checks, as I said, duplicate GST number is there, duplicate PAN numbers are there. Duplicate vouchers mean narration, party name, invoice number, amount, everything is matching. So that is the duplicate vouchers. This is very important report, probable purchase or sale of asset. So what happens? In generic configuration, you can decide the threshold limit as per your audit materiality, how much amount should be there. When that amount costs, it can be treated as capital expenditure or it can be treated as non-capital expenditure. So you have to decide that. Then software goes through the narration, it reads the narration, it captures the asset names. We have given some of the asset names. You can add or delete the asset names also. So now from going through the narration, software is capture the word TV. So it is thinking it has, the Tally company has purchased the TV. Amount is also crossing more 5,000 rupees threshold, and it is debited to purchase. So according to software, it is a TV purchase, but debited to purchase account. So it is asking verify whether it is purchase of asset only. From here only we have captured that Honda Unicorn wala case. Then even sale of asset entry. So rack is the word, amount is more than 5,000 and it is credited to sales ledger. So software is asking, please explain, verify whether it is a sale of asset entry. So now spell check is there. We list down the wrong spelling, wrong words over here. Well, this is very important. Verify creditors entries or verify data entry. You can see we have given the status of explain only. So there is no fail, pass or verify. Every entry is shown under explain because it can be a adjustment entry. I will read one of the logs so you will understand. In case of verified debit entries, technically as per accounting principle, there should be debit of purchases, input, GST, direct, indirect expense and fixed asset to creditor. Now, other than that, they have debited sales ledger to creditor. So we are asking, please explain whether it is an adjustment entry or not. Or in case of credit entries, there should be cash bank, ODCC or TDS credited to creditors, but they have credited indirect income ledger. So all the adjustment entries are listed down for debtors and creditors. You can go through the entries. If you are satisfied with the treatment, you can. But if you have problem with the treatment or you have some suspicious findings of the entry, you can have a discussion with the client also. So these are the features. One of the important features is keyword search. It is a control F. How control F feature we use in your Excel or Word. Similarly, this feature is useful for finding out the personal nature transaction or expenditure of personal nature, or maybe a prior period items also. So I will use some of the word like say bill. So I want all the details of vouchers where bill word is used, and software is asking me if you want all narrations or ledgers or group. I say I want all ledgers, narrations, and groups also wherever the bill word is used. You can select the date range, and then when you say submit, a user will get all the details of hang on what. Okay, this is still data check only. So sorry. So if I say submit, it is not giving me. I think software is hanged. Oh, okay. Yes. The report is there. So it is showing me all the details and it is giving me whether it has found the word bill in narrations or ledgers or in groups. So with the help of this feature, you can find out the personal nature expenditure or prior period expenditure, whatever the requirement you need to find, you can use this feature. Okay, these are the basic features of the ledger vision. Then I will explain some of the like reconciliation of opening balance. Okay. So as I said, now because I am not having two different companies, I am showing the result on same tally company, but you will understand the concept. Suppose this is the company which we have finalized in the previous year, and 1 minute, I will shut down my door because some building work is going on beside my place. So suppose first company is the previous year company finalized in our office. We have passed adjustment entries. We have prepared some of the ledgers which client is unaware of, and then we have received the data from for next year from client. So first thing we do, we compare the closing balances of balance sheet with the current year opening balances. So I have already pulled the data. I will say continue. So you have to keep in mind three things. Firstly, you have to have a backup of both of the companies before doing anything with this result. Then you have to split the companies. Previous year should be split up to 31st of March and current year should be split from 1st of April. As you have seen, Tally is communicating with the ledger with the ODBC server. So it is single window. That's why it is required for you to open both the companies in single Tally only. So don't go for using two different tallies for two companies. Use same Tally. You have to open both the companies in same Tally. And then you can pull the data. Now software is comparing 911 ledgers with 911 ledgers. That's why it is taking time. But it will give the report, then I can explain the report. In that report, we compare all the ledgers and we comment whether that ledger is found in new company or not found in new company. So if ledger is not found in the new company, this means these are the ledgers created by auditor in previous year, which client is unaware of. So you have to update the details in new Tally company manually. Right now, you have to manually post the ledgers. Acha. So far what you have seen, I am giving all the queries, but we are not doing anything with that queries. Okay. So some of the clients are requested us to come up with the solution for auto update of the Tally. So we're developing, we're testing the product. So auto update of Tally feature will be available in the product, and some MIS report will be there. So we are adding 20-30 MIS reports in the product also. So what is auto update product? If you are satisfied with the queries raised by the ledger vision, and if you say okay, we will go and change everything in Tally. We will update the missing data like GST number, TDS number, or we will remove the duplicate entries. We will correct the wrong accounting entries, wrong GST, wrong TDS entries. As per your request or as per your direction only, we will change everything. So according to me, auditor is not supposed to do everything. He is supposed to find out the errors and accountant should correct the errors. But nowadays practice is very stringent timelines are there. We have to finalize everything. So that's why we are adding that feature. It will be of a great help. So coming back to this report, so they just found a new company, not found a new company is explained. Now you can see the closing balances are compared with the opening balances. So minus is the debit amount and plus is the credit amount. So there is a difference between closing and opening balance. So software is saying yes, there is a difference. You need to update a tally. And if there is no difference, software is saying no, no need to update a tally. So if you use the filter for yes, you will find out the list of all ledgers where there is a difference between closing as well as opening balance. So either if you have time with due date is not that much nearby, you have time, you can download this report, you can ask management or accountant to update everything. Then in that case, you have to wait for getting corrected result. But if you don't have time, due date is there, you can go for update tally. Right now, it is the only instance where you update the tally. Once you click this button, we will update the opening balances of tally data where the difference is there. So whenever you again pull the tally data, you will not find any difference in opening closing. So we automatically update the opening balance of new tally company, and we automatically match the opening and closing balances of the tally company. So this is the feature. Now I will not. Acha, there is a 2 and 2 reconciliation is there. So can you request to mute the mic?
I'm just checking, sir. I'll do that. I'm just invoicing.
Yeah. So
Sir, you can continue.
Yes. So in 2B and 2A reconciliation, we need to download the .json file from portal because we are not the GST Suvidha provider. That's why we have to depend on portal for downloading .json files of JS 2B or 2A. Now there are two USP from our side. You don't have to, because we are having entire data of tally. We can compare all JSON files with the data and we can provide. So there is no, we can capture purchase entries as well as JV entries. So there is no need to pass everything from purchase entry. Okay? And secondly, if the group company is there and group company is having a single GST number, you can have 2B reconciliation or 2A reconciliation of all group companies in one instance only. So you don't have to go for each group company separately. One click only you can have that. For that purpose, you have to open all the group companies in same tally. You have to pull the data of group companies one by the other, and then you can run this 2A reconciliation for those. So I am having all JSON files with me. I will use those JSON files. I have got 12 JSON files. Now, one thing to be keep in mind, all JSON files are in zip format. You have to download each file separately. Don't go for group unzipping of the. So don't select all the files and unzip in a one instance. Go for single unzipping of the file and go on writing. So technically, what happens when you unzip the file, all file will get same name. Then software will get confused. That's why you go on writing either April, May, June, or go on giving the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 in a chronological sequence. Now, another problem with the accountants are they never enter invoice number. Okay. So we capture the invoices with probable matching. That's why you have to go on ticking these tick marks, tick box. So with the help, whenever you tick, suppose I have ticked the most right, match right 7 letters. So our software will compare actual invoice number from JSON file with the actual number punched in tally. It tries to compare the left 7 letters, right 7 letters, middle 7, whatever the instruction we have given, and we try to find out the probable match. So I will run the result, but I have this result in Excel. To save the time, I will show the Excel report only. So in Excel, you will get, so to GST summary, I will come in later on. I will explain the report first. So unlike GST filing software, in that case, you have to upload the GST data of the client, and all those GST filing softwares are web-based. So technically, you are providing all purchase and sale details to those. And I don't know about the data security, but technically, you are giving everything to those. Okay. So in our case, it is altogether different. It is other way around. You have to download JSON file from the portal. In those filing softwares, you have to upload your purchase register, etc. Okay. So first problem with the tally is GST and PAN not found. Now, because we don't download Excel files, we download JSON files. We get GST number for those JSON files. So you can see the JSON file is containing GST number, and it has not. So in case of 2B, it is containing supplier number name, but in case of 2A, it is not containing the name of the party. It is containing only GST number. So what we do, we compare GST number with the PAN number or GST number in Tally, and then with the comparison we will get the name of the party. Then we will go to invoices. We check the invoices whether it is match, mismatch, or probable match. But if you have not posted GST numbers or PAN number in Tally, you are helpless. Okay. And another problem with the you must be knowing the registered name on portal is different and ledger name in the Tally company can be a different. So only base or correct ascertainment of the parties is GST number or PAN number. That's why we have based our report on GST numbers. Second function is invoice not found. So this means we have found the GST number, we have found the party also, and we have found the invoice number also. But this invoice number is not reflecting anywhere, neither under vouchers nor voucher date, supplier reference, bill reference. Nothing is mentioned in the Tally. So though we have found out the parties, but we are not able to match the invoice because we don't have the invoice number. Then match is there. What is match? Match means we have found the party. We have matching invoice also, and even all the amounts are also matching. So you can see GST amount from Tally is 1220.33, and in GST it is 1220.34. So there is a difference of 1 paisa. We have given the mismatch difference of 2 rupees here, but you can decide the amount of difference. Rounding of difference is up to you depending upon your audit materiality. I can give you the example. One of the client having the Tally company of 9 lakh, so 950 crores turnover, and they are still on Tally. So they have customized their Tally as it was fine, super fine. Now their problem is they said that see, up to difference of 150 rupees, we don't mind. We don't consider the difference up to 150 rupees because follow up of those parties and go for the matching of difference. It takes amount more than 150 per party. So we show us the result of the mismatch where the amount is more than 150 only. So that's why we come up with the configuration, and you have to punch in the amount, how much rounding of figure you want. You can have 0, you can have 10,000, whatever the requirement as per your audit materiality. So this is the match. After match, there is a mismatch. Mismatch is simply we have found everything, but amounts are not matching. So you can see in GST amount in Tally it is 2997, in JSON it is 26191, or it is 765 in JSON, 648 in Tally. So there is a mismatch in numbers. Now USP is probable match, which is very interesting. So you can see in JSON, actual invoice number is CM44398, but in Tally it is as 44398. A very simple example, but this is very dangerous. Original number is TRI/18192186, but in Tally only 2186 is written. So software is shown this invoice as probable match because amounts are exactly matching. So taxable amount as well as GST amounts are matching. Party is also matching with the help of GST number, and date is also matching. Only thing is invoice number is matching, not matching. So it is kept under the probable match. Another report given is in Tally, not in JSON, which means party is claiming the credit, but the sellers have not updated the return or they have not filed the return. So you are not able to get the credit. So in this case, you have to follow them up and ask them to update the returns. Now, this report is shown in the summary to understand whether we have captured each and every entry from Tally. So there is a JSON amount of GST is 5937696, and in Tally it is 6230622. Now there is a difference between 292925. Why? Because some of difference is because they have not maintained the GST or PAN, or invoice are not found, they have not maintained the invoice number, or there is a mismatch in JSON. So mismatch in JSON means wrong amount is shown in JSON than Tally, or mismatch in Tally means wrong amount is shown in Tally than JSON. And we have claimed in Tally, but it is not shown in the JSON file. That's why the difference is matching. You can see only 2 rupees rounding of difference is there. So this shows that we have captured each and every Tally entry as well as JSON entry, and we have reconciled. Now once we come up with the auto update tally feature, you can update all the GST PAN number or invoice number, and you will get the pinpoint result of GSTR2 and 2B reconciliation. So these are the results for Ledger Vision. Let's see how. Now I will explain Ledger Vision in 5 to 10 minutes only. I will show the results only, so you will understand how it works. For that, I have to open the company. So as I said, it is a USP that we provide everything on Excel. So period for this company 2021. I will open the Ledger Fusion software. So we provide financial statements for Schedule 3 HUF individual firm right now, and even we provide consolidation of balance sheet also. So you have to select that company. Now there can be two options. Either there can two scenarios, I say, instead of option, there can be two scenarios. Either you can have a company which is containing both previous year as well as current year. In that case, for pulling current year data, you have to select the current year in Tally. Then you have to go for pull the data button. And for pulling previous year data, you have to go for previous year in Tally as well. So you have to keep in mind while pulling the data, you must match the period in Tally as well as Ledger Fusion. And suppose there are two Tally companies, split data is there. One company is containing previous year data and another company is containing current year data. You have to open both the Tally companies in same Tally, and you have to select, like for I'm right now I'm pulling previous year company, so I will select the previous year company. For pulling current year data, I will select current year company. So I am skipping the procedure because I want to save the time. After pulling, if you want to only current year, want to have only current year balance sheet, then no need to pull the previous year data. Only take the current year balance sheet. So you will get the current year balance sheet only. After pulling data, you have to select whether Schedule 3 is required.
ऑटो ट्रायल बैलेंस है, उसके जो कमेंट्स है वो क्लिक करके उसमें पॉइंट्स वाला पीपीटी को तुम्हारे पास पीपीटी है या कौन सा?
अच्छा, you want Schedule 3 or partnership or individual, you have to select. Now some of the details are not available in Tally. You have to punch in like how many number of classes are there, like equity shares, preference shares, convertible shares, whatever the case may be, and how many promoters are there. Then you can download the configuration, ready-made configuration I have with me for downloaded, so I will show that. Basically, configuration is opening, closing balances. It is a trial balance only. So you can see ledger groups, subgroups are there, and ledgers names are shown one below the other. Now I will explain why this column is kept blank. This is the previous year opening balances, previous year closing balances, current year opening balance, and current year closing balances. Now you can see this note list is given. It is containing notes and subnotes, and according to this list, we have mapped everything automatically. So creditors to trade payables, trade receivables, debtors are mapped to trade receivables. You have to decide whether they are outstanding for 6 months or whether in case of creditors, you can decide whether they are small and medium scale enterprises, etc. So 5 things you need to keep in mind. You have to see manually whether deferred tax are correctly mapped, accumulated depreciation and all assets are correctly mapped, and whether provision for income tax and current tax is correctly mapped. Because most of the times I have seen the spelling mistakes in those ledgers, and they are crucial for getting balance sheet, ready-made Tally balance sheet. Those are the crucial details. So deferred tax, current tax, MAT, your depreciation, accumulated depreciation, and fixed assets. These are the important roles. Acha. Some questions you have to punch in because this is the information required for preparation of balance sheet, which is not available in Tally. Like name of the company, address, SIN, name of the directors, DIN, or their designation, then name of the auditor, MRN, FRN, UDIN, etc. Then authorized capital related details, issued capital related details, or promoters related details. So all details are required. You have to just punch in and it will be shown in the balance sheet. Now, so this is very important. While going for, you have to upload the configuration. And there are 4 options. First 2 options is either you want detailed balance sheet or condensed one. You have to select. For preparation of balance sheet, suppose you have completed your income tax depreciation, company law depreciation, deferred tax calculation, tax calculation, everything is entered in Tally. Now only Excel balance sheet is pending. You can click OK, but you have not calculated. So we can calculate it. We can calculate MAT or current tax for you, or depreciation for both company law or income tax or deferred tax also. Just go on clicking OK. I will save the time of clicking OK. And I have got. Acha, before configuration, you can decide the rounding of option also. You can have normal balance sheet, or you can have rupees in 100, rupees in 1000, rupees in lakhs, whatever the case may be. So I am having rupees in 100 balance sheet, so I will show that to you. So this is the cover page. You will get ready-made cover page. Only thing is you have to punch in the annual report number. You will get auditor details, etc. This is sheet 1 containing management representation letter. So all the points are standard one. You can alter as per your requirements depending upon the representation you want from client. Now this is the standard report. As I said, there are hyperlinks. You can jump to notes and you can jump back to index, and you can see the all. You can see the all formulas and linking are shown. So what we do in manual balance sheet, everything is done in same fashion, and you can see the rupees in 100 over here. You can go through details and you will get all signatory details, etc. Similarly, you will get P&L related details here, and you can see the all. This is the new feature, updated feature, that all the notes are now in chronological sequence. I can show you the original balance sheet for updation. In this balance sheet, you can see we were showing. Sorry, I have one. Currently, what is happening? The balance sheet is showing all the details, but it is showing the notes which are blank. Okay, and if you remove the notes manually, the chronological sequence is not maintained. So this feature is updated in updated balance sheet. You will get the balance sheet with only those notes. Okay, with only those notes which are not blank, and the sequence is automatically maintained by the software. So this is a very good presentation right now. And you will get all notes one below the other. So whatever the authorized capital, etc. details we have filled in configuration, those are appearing over here. You will get equity issued capital related details. Acha. Share capital holding is not available anywhere. You have to punch in it manually from previous year details. Then promoters details are there. So all the notes are one below the others. Significant accounting policies and notes are given standard. Pointers are there. You can update, you can alter. Disclosure requirements are there. Now some of the disclosures are not possible because we are pulling previous year and current year data only, and government is asking for outstanding details of 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and more than 3 years. So that we have to manually find out. Or like here they are asking for deeds of title deeds of immovable property which is not available from tally, or charges registered, index of charges they are asking. So all the details we have given the blank format. You have to just punch in manually. We have given the ratio analysis, but only DSCR is not there because we are not able to calculate DSCR because we are pulling the closing balances. We don't know the actual principal repayment of the loans. That's why we have to manually calculate the DSCR. We have given ready-made cash flow. We have given disallowances. Now for calculation of income tax, you have to first calculate deferred tax, company law depreciation, and income tax. So for calculation of company law depreciation, we have ready-made format, or you can use your format and go on linking with the actual. This output is over here, or you can use our format also. Go on punching fill in the blanks, and you will get ready-made company law depreciation. Similarly, in case of income tax depreciation, you have to just punch in WDV from previous year report over here, and you will get ready-made income tax. Acha, in disallowances, we have given blank format. You have to go on writing the respective findings from with the respective section disallowances. Only keep in mind, if you are using rupees in 100, then go on writing disallowances in rupees in 100 only. Otherwise, balance sheet will not be tallying. And on the basis of this, we will calculate the income tax. While calculation of income tax also, firstly we calculate MAT, and then we calculate income tax. But you have to select the right or applicable income tax rate for that company, and everything will be calculated by the software automatically, and you will get the ready-made balance sheet. So it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to complete the balance sheet. Other than that, for non-corporate balance sheets, we have given same idea is used. Only thing is presentation is in horizontal format. Now, for as per WRC guidelines, we are providing LLP format in vertical also. So you will get option whether you want LLP in a horizontal format or vertical format. So from my side, presentation is done. Meenakshi madam, we can go for question answer.
Suppose any members, if you want to have, if you have any queries or if you want to ask something, you can go ahead. I have not received any questions in
I
the
have not
chat
received
box.
any question. Yes. Somebody was asking something. Who has raised
But then that person is not there now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, they must have left.
Participants, any of you want to, you have
Any
any queries, you
suggestions
can ask.
also? Suggestions are also welcome. Queries are also welcome. So, I will show you how to download the demo version. You can go to this ledger. You can go to this ledgervision.in, and in overview page you will see our YouTube channel. So, or you can go to YouTube and write down Ledger Vision. You will get all the videos, feature-wise or detailed video what I have showed you right now. And to download the trial version, go to try it free. You will get Google form. Write down the details. You will get the demo version. For Ledger Fusion, you have to go to this. You have to go to try Ledger Vision. There are restrictions in demo Ledger Vision. Like we provide scrutiny of only first quarter, April, May, June. But if anybody wants to have full scrutiny, you can call me. My details are shown in the PPT also. I will keep my details on. You can call me on these numbers and our team will provide you full version for a couple of days with 3-4 tally companies. So you can try it on, have a feel of entire product. You can compare the product findings with your own manual findings. And if you are satisfied, we can go further discussion. And I can announce 50% discount for this webinar members. So whatever be the, because it is not good to discuss the pricing in webinar, but whatever the pricing, if you are willing to buy, we will provide 50% discount because you are the member of this webinar.
What would be the cost?
Single user for Ledger Vision is 15,000 and multi-user is 30,000. And for Ledger Fusion, it is 10,000 and 20,000. So if you are going for both multi-users, I can provide you both softwares in multi-user for 25,000 also. So 50% discount is there. So instead of 15,000, you can have it in 7,500, or instead of 30,000, Ledger Vision for instead of 30.
Ledger Vision, it is for single user we have to pay 7,500, and for multi-user 15,000.
Correct. And for Ledger Fusion, 5,000 and 10,000.
Okay.
So technically, for both multi-user, you will get in 25,000. Most of the time, people go for multi-user. Why? Because our multi-user supports all your networking solutions. It provides LAN, remote desktop, cloud, VPN, whatever the work from home solution. I think everybody now has joined the office, but most of the time in Mumbai, I think, or in metro cities, some of the people are working from home still. So the multi-user is there. Anybody having any query, or you can call me and you can use the software, then we can have a question and answer. That is not the problem.
So you'll be sharing us this material, no, sir? Whatever you have prepared a small PPT, they can have a look at it.
Correct.
Okay. So shall we close the session with this, and then we'll come back to you, sir. We'll come back to you. We'll talk to our members, and then we'll get their concern, and then we'll come back to you, sir.
Definitely. If members want individual demos on their tally company, our team will help them. You can scrutinize your tally company. Data will be secured with you only. But you can compare the results with manual scrutiny also.
Okay, sir.
Great.
Satish sir, I request Satish sir to deliver the vote of thanks, and we can end the session at that.
Thank you, sir. It was very wonderful session. Actually, this really it's a need of day. One side, client will give the data only at the at the end of near to the due date. And moreover, nowadays government are very stringent to extending the due date, so it's really helpful. Thank you, sir. Very good session. I also thank all the participants attending the session. Thank you, very much, sir.
Actually, appreciations to you and your team, sir. It's a very wonderful, very detailed analysis you have made. And then I think even if we do the manual check, we will not be covering every aspect of it.
Correct.
So I think this software will help us to do a fair audit. I think it will be a complete checkup. Appreciations to your team, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
It was a
Thanks a
great
lot, sir.
session. So
Thank
I will
you, sir.
leave. Okay.
We're hopeful that our members will use it.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
And members, whoever has not given the membership number, please put it in the chat box and then you can leave. Especially those who are attending, those who are from other centers, we need your membership number to give you CPE hours. சதீஷ் வேற ஏதாவது சென்ட்ரல் வந்திருந்தாங்களா?
இல்ல மேம், எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு இல்ல.
ஓ அப்படியா, சரி ஓகே. அப்படின்னு நம்ம கிட்ட எல்லாரோட நம்பருமே இருக்குது இல்லையா?
ஆல்மோஸ்ட் இருக்கு, பட் நடுவுல யாரோ ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
எனக்கு வேற யாரும் நம்பர் கொடுக்கல. ஓகே ஓகே. வேற யாராவது இங்க இருக்கிறவங்க இப்போ வேற யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்களா இந்த சாஃப்ட்வேர்?
தெரியும் மேம். இவங்க மேபி யூஸ் பண்றவங்க யாரும் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஸ்ரீகாந்த் சார் வந்து அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணாரு, கொஞ்ச நேரம் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணாரு.
பட் வெங்கடேஸ்வர் சார் அவங்க ஆபீஸ்ல யூஸ் பண்றாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பட்
எனக்கு போத் கேடிகே சாருமே சரி இல்ல ஸ்ரீகாந்த் சார் ரெண்டு பேருமே கூட ரொம்ப நல்ல பாசிட்டிவ் இன்புட் தான் கொடுத்தாங்க. யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி தான் சொன்னாங்க.
அண்ட் மோரோவர் இதெல்லாம் வந்து பிராக்டிகலா நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணாதான் மேம் we will know understand.
இவர் சொல்ற அந்த பாயிண்ட் எல்லாமே ஆக்சுவலி நம்ம செக் பண்ணிட்டு தான் இருக்கிறோம். சோ மேபி சாஃப்ட்வேர் யூஸ் பண்ணா கொஞ்சம் ஆட்டோமேஷன் வந்து நமக்கு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா தான் இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நிறைய நம்பர் ஆஃப் எட்ஜஸ் கூட இருக்கும்போது. இருக்கீங்களா இந்த இது
மேடம் அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங்க க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டு.
ஓ ஓகே, தேங்க் யூ.